Get yourself to okjersey.com, where you can buy all the best football shirts around, including the amazing vintage Spurs tops I wear on this channel. But I think the Spurs shirt you'll really want is, of course, the absolutely magnificent Tottenham 1901 FA Cup winners 125-year anniversary top, available in both short and long sleeve. And as if that wasn't enough, if you go onto their website and like the look of one of their shirts, choose your size, get your name and a number on the back, or the Champions League badge on the sleeve as well if you're that way inclined, then go to checkout, type the word BARN into the coupon section. That's BARN as in short for Barnaby, and when you do, you'll get 8% off your purchase. Get yourself to okjersey.com, or if you're too lazy to go to the website, just scan the QR code that's on the left of me throughout this video. Enjoy! Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Tottenham have unsurprisingly just lost yet again, this time to Fulham 2-1. And to say it could have been maybe 5 or 6, I would say would be an understatement, really, maybe even. We nicked a goal in the second half when we were 2-0 down from Richarlison, and that kind of gave us a chance at the end to try and nick something, but they didn't even put that much pressure on Fulham even then. Throughout the entire game, Fulham were just able to play 5, 10-yard passes to feet, triangles, move it around, and Spurs could not get near them. We could not get near Fulham today. And Fulham are a good team. They're a functional team, but it shows. They are in 9th position in the Premier League after that win, and it shows the gulf in quality, in confidence, in belief. This Tottenham team are so confused, and I've been saying they're confused for months. They're confused under Thomas Frank, but now they've got rid of Thomas Frank, and they brought in a guy who is, he did in his pre-match press conference, he talked about how we have to have a small club mentality. That's how we're going to get out of it. We have to have a small club mentality. And once again today, just endless long balls up to nobody. We actually had Dominic Solanke on the pitch today who can deal with long balls and hold it up. But we weren't playing any of them up to Dominic Solanke. We were playing them to Randall Kolo-Muani, who couldn't hold it up. And to me, I cannot believe what we are being served up. I cannot believe what we're being served up. And I've said this for the last week or so, since the Arsenal game. And I sent a text before this game to a couple of my mates saying, I think Igor Tudor might be our Felix Magath. If you remember Felix Magath, he went into Fulham, gave it the fucking Billy Big Bollocks, and the players were like, not having him. And he was sacked after not very long. Similar to, I think, was it Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace? They weren't having him. And he's being as long ball as defensively, naive. He's playing 3 at the back, long ball bollocks, direct ball bollocks. Except the big difference is he's not even picking players in their natural positions. I wrote a tweet before this game today. I said I was surprised because all week in the press conference, or in his conference, sorry, he was saying, Igor Tudor, oh, it's all about getting energy and the press and desire. And then he dropped Pap Sarr. And a few people said to me on X, like, oh, yeah, but Pap Sarr was shit last week. And I was like, yeah, but who wasn't? And if you want energy in the press and you want desire and people who are going to press the opposition and are fit enough to do it, then I would have thought you'd play Matisse Tell and Pap Sarr. But he didn't. He played Polinia and Bissouma, and neither of them got anywhere near anyone the entire game. And I think he must have played Kolo-Muani in a 2 with Solanke because last week Kolo-Muani got his goal. And Kolo-Muani ran the channels hard today. I'll give him that. But he must have given away 7 or 8 fouls minimum. It's very, very difficult to know what to say. Oh, and I see a few of you in the comments already talking about the ref. Let me just say this. Now, I'm going to do a TikTok video about this later as well. If you think the ref has anything to do with us losing that game, you are so far off. You are so far off. Listen, the referee, he called it on the pitch today, that goal, the first one. He called that it wasn't a foul, and so it wasn't overturned. And in the same way, last week against Arsenal, he called that it was a foul, and it wasn't overturned. So by the letter of the law, in terms of them wanting to have a high bar of overturning things with VAR, they've stuck to the letter of the law. And people want referees to be refereeing the game. So a lot of people, you're talking about, oh, you want it to be consistent. But it was consistent. I'm sorry if you're not going to want to hear this, but it was consistent. Because last week, they didn't overturn it on VAR. And this week, they didn't overturn it on VAR. And the subjectivity of refereeing, that's what people are calling for. You know, if I'm going to be totally honest about it and look at it as a neutral, which I know it's hard, it was a foul last week from Kolo Muani. He did push him with two straight arms before Gabriel had got up for his header. Frustrating. I know it was frustrating, but if I was ref on that pitch and I was neutral, I would have given it as a foul as well. Today, I think because Dragishin's already up in the air and that's when his hands are on him, it's not the same as a straight arm two pusher before you've reached before you've got up off the floor. So I think, unfortunately, if I was neutral in both games, I probably would have called it the same way. It's not biased. It's not an agenda. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. But more importantly than any of that, and I'm happy for you to disagree with me, that's fine. I get it. You know, it's annoying. But that's not why we lost today. It's not why we conceded 4 goals against Arsenal last week. It's because that team of players do not have an ounce of confidence in their body. And I'll tell you, the only 2 players, actually, I'll say, who have any confidence are Tell and Souza. And why Souza is not starting these games is beyond me, because he cannot, even if he scores the world's worst own goal, he would make us harder to play against just by the fact that he has a left foot, than playing Archie Gray out there, than playing Jed Spence out there. Jed Spence was injured today. In the last 5 minutes or so, Archie Gray moved into central midfield, and he actually did a couple of things in central midfield that was like, oh, that's a central midfielder there. That's good that he's in this right position. And Souza did a couple of things in his 10 minutes of action that made you think, with Tell on the left, why are they not playing? It's so weird to me that we are able to see this as fans, having watched every game, and these fucking massively overpaid head coaches and coaches, they watch these games and they don't see the same thing. It's maddening. It is maddening. I have a feeling, I don't know, but Tudor might come out and absolutely go mental at the referee in his post-match, because he was still going at the fourth official in the second half about that goal. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes out of that. A few of you saying at least West Ham and Forest lost. Yeah, sure, but these are the opportunities we have now to get points ahead of them, because we have games further down the line where they have potential easier games, where they'll score points and we won't. But did we deserve a point today? No. We can't pass the ball 5 yards to each other. I've honestly never seen anything like it from a Spurs team. And I've written as my title here, is this manager even worse than Frank? And I think he might be. I don't think the players are interested in this manager at all. And I've said it for a while now. I think he'll get sacked by the end of March. I think he will. I don't think we're going to beat Palace at home on Thursday. Although, I'll give you one piece of good news, guys. Lacroix from Palace got sent off today. He scored for them, right? Their centre-half, he scored, and then he got sent off. And then Palace lost. So they don't have Lacroix or, of course, Gay, who's now moved to Man City. So that could be something. But do I think Tottenham are going to play enough fucking passes along the floor to give Palace any problems on Thursday? No. And then after that, we go to Liverpool away. Jesus, it's honestly... Philly Hotspur says Tudor completely in over his head. He's got to go. It's really time for Big Sam by this proper relegation battle. I'm going to say something that some of you might think I'm mad for, right? But what I thought we'd get from Tudor is, because we've been playing long ball fucking defensive shit all season from Thomas Frank, and the players clearly weren't into it and refused to accept it, I thought Tudor would come in and be like, let's play some football. Yes, press high and play some football. But he's not. He's talking about small club mentality. So now what we've done is we've replaced Thomas Frank with someone who doesn't even have the longevity of Premier League experience or time with these players. So now they're just playing worse long ball football. And I actually think these players, you know, whether they've got injuries or not, I think they want to play football. I think they want someone to go into them and say, I'm going to, you know, do what Ange did when he first went in there and say, I'm giving you the belief to play the football that I know you can play. They didn't want Thomas Frank. They didn't have Thomas Frank for me because of the fucking shit football he was playing. And I think it's just like, don't bring in a guy who's going to talk more negatively than even Thomas Frank did. And Barvin here agrees, says, let the guys play with some freedom. And look, I get it. I get it, right? It's hard to play with any freedom and confidence when you're in a relegation scrap. I understand that. And if it was coming, if this had been Ange flipping to Igor Tudor, then you'd say, yeah, okay, Tudor's messaging is probably correct. But it's not. It's negativity flipping to worse negativity. Yo-Yo disagrees with me, and that's fair enough. Says, no, Barnaby, he's not a great coach, but he's better than Frank. Players have zero unity between them. Jace the Ace says, we can't pass the ball. That's the problem. I agree. But it's not just that we can't pass the ball. It's that they won't pass the ball. They don't even try. Systemic Frog says, I'd be telling Tell and Sousa, play like that and you start every game. Stop playing like that and you come off. Listen, I just thought Tell showed some actual... I think he just came on and thought, I've got to do this on my own because nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else is going to do it. Steven says, you're wrong. When Rishi came on, it was better. Well, Rishi did at least challenge Calvin Bassey for some 50-50s. But even when Rishi and Solanke were up front together, I'd say we were still losing 95% of all the first and second balls. 95% of all the first and second balls. And I'll tell you this now, guys. If Tottenham somehow survive relegation this season, it will be a miracle. I was having fucking ructions at a mate of mine who supports Norwich before the game because he was like, oh, you don't worry about it. You've got enough points not to worry about it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because he's not watching every game. He's not watching Spurs every game, and he's not watching Forest or West Ham every game. And I'm telling you, both Forest and West Ham are showing so much more than Tottenham are at the moment. So much more desire, so much more quality, so much more ability, so much more motivation. And they're playing more football than we are, both those teams as well. And we're just lucky that they're not getting any results. We're lucky, but they will get some results. And at the moment, when I look at this Tottenham team, I don't think we're going to get a result. James Barker says, Tell showed energy. If he could pass, he'd be dangerous. Frustrating player. Sousa looked good, gave us more balance. I thought Tell did well. I did well. I think considering how hard it is to get up to the rhythm and the pace of a game, the fact that he's going to pass a few wrongly, that's going to happen. The rest of them were passing it wrongly from the very first minute. Xavi Simons, Systemic Frog's written another comment about Xavi Simons, but he's being asked to play out of position on the left wing. What the fuck? So on the left side today, because of Igor fucking Tudor, on the left side today, we had Archie Gray and Xavi Simons, and they're both like totally out of position and just like, this is not a position I can play in, especially not with someone who's able to give you a kind of runner outside. To be fair to Archie Gray, once Tell went on, he gave him that runner outside. But if you watch that goal, Archie Gray looked so spent and so tired before he finally kind of put in a little, like, oh, maybe I should give him a run outside. I also think they looked knackered. They looked absolutely spent. And I think Tudor's running them into the ground. And it's like, listen, if that comes to our benefit further down the line towards the back end of the season, then maybe that can be proven to be the right decision. But in terms of playing 2 games a week this week, we've got Palace on Thursday, and they look shattered from 60 minutes. I don't know. I do not know. Mix FPL says, Sousa in natural position, moving Gray into midfield is big. I think that's how we need to be starting. Yeah. Ryan James says, fight or flight, and Spurs players obviously chosen flight. Yeah. Yo-Yo says, Xavi needs to stop being so cute with his passing, stick to the basics and help the link up with forwards with precise, simple passing. He's got no one around him, mate. He's got no one around him. XK says, Tudor will leave by himself before the season ends. I said this during my watch along today. I said, if I were him, I'd be tempted to resign. I would be tempted to resign. I really would. Maxa says, Xavi has superstar energy without being one. I mean, he's certainly not in the right team at the moment, is he? He's not in the right team at the moment for any of this. The poor guy. Sakaya says, what stage are you in, Barnaby, talking about grief, presumably? I'm in all the stages. All the stages. Benjamin says, no urgency the entire match except the last 6 minutes of the game. Absolute criminals. Do you really think there was urgency in the last 6 minutes of the game? I didn't think there was any urgency at all. I didn't think there was any urgency at all. Nicholas Barrett, I think that's you, says Tottenham and Newcastle just lack the depth to sustain themselves in the Premier League and the Champions League, especially with the new Champions League format. Mate, it's not just that. It's not just that. It's not. Maybe it's that with Newcastle, but it is not just that. It is worse than that. Tottenham are living through the final throes of death knells that have been in the works for years now, from decisions all the way up and down the club. Thinking you're a bigger club without being able to spend the money, or without being willing to spend the money on wages that the bigger clubs spend. Going in for players who bigger clubs who are willing to spend that money do spend, losing out on them and not having backups at a level that you can buy who are good enough. And that's just the half of it, if that. Kevin Staunton says there's no lack of fight. We're just not good enough. I don't know, mate. I think he's asking them to press together and they're unable to get to the press on time. I mean, that's just one simple thing. Anyway, guys, I've somehow managed to do 15 minutes with this. It's devastating. All we can desperately hope is somehow Chelsea get something against Arsenal today. And at least Forest and West Ham didn't win. So we're still in 16th with 2 points behind Leeds. We're now 6 points behind Palace. And we're 4 points ahead of West Ham. It's a shocker, guys. Somehow try and enjoy your week. Come on, you Spurs. Get yourself to okjersey.com, where you can buy all the best football shirts around, including the amazing vintage Spurs tops I wear on this channel. But I think the Spurs shirt you'll really want is, of course, the absolutely magnificent Tottenham 1901 FA Cup winners 125-year anniversary top, available in both short and long sleeve. And as if that wasn't enough, if you go onto their website and like the look of one of their shirts, choose your size, get your name and a number on the back, or the Champions League badge on the sleeve as well if you're that way inclined, then go to checkout, type the word BARN into the coupon section. That's BARN as in short for Barnaby, and when you do, you'll get 8% off your purchase. Get yourself to okjersey.com, or if you're too lazy to go to the website, just